Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the Special Interest Group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Youth of Purpose. Youth of Purpose.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Youth of Purpose. You are watching U24 Uganda Broadcasting Corporation. This is your national youth television, giving you a platform as young people to be able to share your views and perspective and as far as making Uganda a better country. My name is Ivan Tumkonde. Welcome to the show. And today in studio, I have a great team of young people, and they'll be sharing with us where they are coming from and what they are here to share with you today. And to start with someone from my far left, Simwe Ronald. Welcome. Kindly say hello to the viewer.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ivan, for hosting us. My name is Ronald Williams Asimwe. I'm a lawyer by profession. Also a staff at Uganda Christian Lawyers Fraternity and the committee member of the 8th National Youth Convention, heading mobilization department. I'm very glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And next to Ronald Okumu. Welcome. Kindly say hello.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Okumu Albert Okalasa, and I'm very delighted to be here today to have a discussion on some of the issues that are touching the youths of this country, and I know we are going to have a very fruitful deliberation by the end of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome. Ruth, kindly say hello.
Good afternoon, dear viewers across the country. Ruth Kanyana is my name. I'm a lawyer by profession. I'm also a youth in Uganda, and I work with Uganda Christian Lawyers Fraternity. I'm excited to be here to deliberate on very important matters concerning the youth in our nation in regards to nation building.
If you can, please, to start with, you tell us about the Christian Lawyers Fraternity.
Thank you so much, moderator. Uganda Christian Lawyers Fraternity is an organization. It's an NGO that was started way back in 2005, and it was started by a group of law students who were still at Makerere University by then. They had a passion to provide justice and to make sure that justice is available to the indigent people in the country and across and also everywhere, everyone who is unable to access legal services. They made sure that it's available freely to everyone, which is a very important thing. So under the Uganda Christian Lawyers Fraternity, we have various departments. We have the legal aid and the access to justice department. We also have the students department. And under the students department in particular, we provide mentorship services to students from various universities across the country. And we allocate the mentors who shape their career. We also do evangelism, counseling. We have a lot. We have our Wednesday altars. We do praying. We are diverse. We also do CLE. We train lawyers in their profession under the continuous legal education. So in short, it's a Christian-based organization, but we don't limit only Christians. It's accessible to all people from various religious backgrounds, because we provide legal aid, we do mentorship to our students, and on top of that, we also work with the Office of the First Lady under the Youth Forum, the Uganda Youth Forum organization, which is her organization. She started way back in 1992, and it deals with students, basically. The National Youth Convention, it helps to shape the youth, teach them their purpose. It's quite diverse, and it's all in partnership with UCLF as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okumu, kindly introduce us and let us know about Uganda Youth Forum.
Thank you once again. I know very many youths right about now very excited because you are going to speak matters pertinent about the youths now. specifically Uganda Youth Forum, someone out there watching Uganda at large, you're really finding where to start from. Now, Uganda Youth Forum is a very beautiful organization that was started way back in 1992. So what was the essence of starting the Uganda Youth Forum? The Uganda Youth Forum was started after the 1986 guerrilla war. Someone would be wondering, why would a youth like me speak about the history of this country? So Uganda Youth Forum starts after the 1986 guerrilla war that brings in the current government. And what is the essence about this entire business? So after the 1986 guerrilla war, Ivan and dear viewers, we had lost so many people in the country, we had lost very many youths. Lots of youths had become orphans. The economic stability had been disorganized, there's no academics, and also there's a large spread of HIV/AIDS. And many Ugandans were calling it Sirim. People thought it's witchcraft, yeah? So the Uganda Youth Forum starts in 1982 by the First Lady of Uganda, Mama Janet Kata Museveni, with the sole purpose of bringing back the lost hope. So one, and Ivan, I don't know if you're old enough, but those who are old, but this being a youth show, some don't know. There's what we call the True Love Waits campaign. Because now HIV was on a high spread, so the Uganda Youth Forum brings the True Love Waits campaign. So therefore the youths were required from then to abstain from indulging into sexual activities to avoid the spread of HIV/AIDS. But also there's a lot of talks on now to bring awareness to this. And therefore when the Uganda Youth Forum came back, it was a platform that brought hope to the very many Ugandans out there. So basically we have that organization now operating, and it's situated in Kololo, Malcolm Road, opposite Stonehaven Hotel. So that is the foundation and how the Uganda Youth Forum starts from the 1986, Ivan, and viewers out there.
Okay. Thank you so much. And to the major reason why we are here, Ronald, if you can introduce us to the National Youth Convention. What is it about?
Thank you so much, Ivan, and all viewers. Thank you so much for watching this program. The National Youth Convention was started in 2020, and it started as a partnership between Uganda Christian Lawyers Fraternity and Uganda Youth Forum, as Okalasa was able to really talk about the genesis of how Uganda Youth Forum was started. But our partnership is basically hinged on mentoring young people in this country to find their purpose. And we have held several conventions. As I said, that it started 2020. We had our first National Youth Convention, which was hosted by the First Lady. One, we want to applaud the First Lady for finding it befitting to facilitate these National Youth Conventions. I think out of this, very many young people have really benefited. So going back, I would want to say that why these youth conventions were initiated. One, we're trying to find how to bring back the mentorship, the intentional mentorship into young people, and then also to bridge the gap between the young and the old. And so every youth convention, what happens, we have a topic of discussion, and we bring about very experienced speakers who speak about different things that affect young people in this country. I think previously we've had one that was hinged on entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship. And out of that, we have had testimonies from young people that benefited out of it, and actually some of those started businesses that have grown. I think if Ivan, you would get a chance to give us another opportunity, would bring those people to give a testimony about what they have benefited. We have also talked about integrity. Ivan and viewers, you may affirm with me that currently what is eating our generation is lack of integrity. Why we have an escalating factor of corruption is the fact that this has not been cut short while at the young stage. So these youth conversions have been one of those platforms that are used to inculcate these very values that we need as young people to thrive, either to also become such that would add something onto this nation. So we have held the first one, and currently we are doing our 8th. So why we are here is we are here to talk about the 8th National Youth Conversion, which is happening on the 28th of this month in Nakasongola district. And chief guest will be the First Lady, Mama Janet Kata Museveni.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. So what exactly happens at these conventions, Okumu, if you are to explain?
Well, it's a very interesting. We have very many different speakers from within and without of the country that come and speak about these very many important topics. So our youth, depending on the role that we are having, we bring guest speakers. So we have a moment of learning. Then we also have interactive sessions whereby you have the youths now come on table and have a panel. Because by the end of the day, when you listen or you're in from the big people that I experienced, might think you're very own and not able to get the job done. So during the convention, we also have a panel where we have the young people come and also have a matter of discussion. What is the view of the young people? What is the young person out there? Because you should agree with me that Uganda has a population of about 78% under 30 that rule this country in terms of numbers. So during the convention, we ensure that they also have a participation on top of the discussion that are brought in from different speakers. But also someone might think it's a marathon of very many serious things. We also have interludes. So once in a while, get a moment there and we bring one of the very best artists, gospel artists, to be particular, to entertain these people. But learning is very important. So therefore, this convention changes the perspective of a young Ugandan there. You come and then you're more ambitious. Because I was recently reading between 15 to 24 old age groups of Ugandans. We have about 7,310,386. So that means the population is quite big. So if we don't teach them during this conversion, there is no better job we are doing. So there is a lot of learning and interaction and youth-led discussions during the conversion, Mr. Ivan, and the viewers.
Okay. Ruth, is this a Christian event? And if not, who is eligible to be part of this event? And if you can also tell us about the theme and why, of all other things that you would have decided to talk about, why choose that specific theme, if you can touch on it.
Okay. Thank you so much, moderator, for that wonderful question. About who is eligible to attend the National Youth Convention. We're going to target students, secondary school students, since it's going to happen at Mijera Secondary School. So we have invited students in Nakasongola district from various secondary schools. They're going to be able to attend. And also, all the youth are also going to attend through our online, youth that are not in secondary or in Mijera or Nakasongola, they're going to attend via our online platforms, that is Zoom. They're going to register. The Zoom link is going to be sent to them. It will be live on YouTube and all our social media handles. Everyone can easily get to attend through our social media platforms. And also the guests, we have invited guests who are going to attend physically. So those ones will be there present in the physical attendance. Talking about the theme, we drew the theme of this national convention from the book of Nehemiah, about rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem. So as Mama thought it wise to bring out that particular scripture from the book of Nehemiah that talks about rebuilding the walls of or Jerusalem, and not to disgrace, not to destroy, to rebuild, as an important theme relating to this whole procedure of rebuilding our nation, Uganda, because we believe the youth are very energetic. The youth are very, they have a lot of ideas. They're very creative. They're very fast. So they can help in this process of rebuilding our country. And we are so thankful so much for the peace that we have now, that we can do a lot of things without much interference, like in the days where there was war, bullets, and everything. So as youth, attending this National Youth Convention to learn how we can build our country, what's our purpose in our country, how can we shape our morals, especially when we're in this trend of social media. A lot of information is available to be consumed by the youth. Some of it is moral, some of it is very disgraceful in the eyes of the Lord. So this convention is here to have different speakers, very important people, very knowledgeable people, very educated parents, to come and speak to the youth and mentor us, shape us on how to realize our purpose as youth to build our nation, Uganda. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ronald, for the past 7 conventions that you've had and from the engagements, I know usually you have sessions where young people are able to have panels and discuss on different issues that are affecting them. What have you found to be the most pressing issues to the young people?
Thank you so much for such a wonderful question. If I may answer that, the most pressing issue that has been affecting young people in this nation is the issue of integrity. And we have very many young people who do not want to work. They probably want to find done things. And as Mr. Kalasa ably quoted that the majority of this nation are young people, but then we still, Uganda still is still counted among the probably is still is among the third world country. And what does that mean? It means that young people have not taken big steps in making sure that actually we bring back our economy. And this has been facilitated by the way we are brought up. We have young people who do not believe in starting things for themselves. They wait for either a father or a mother to start. So the issue of integrity has been very, very fundamental, especially in these youth conversions. We still believe that if this is put forth further, we would have young people who still believe that working hard is what would make them. Starting a business is what would make them, contribute about the economy of this country. We have also had people that are used of handouts. And this still comes back to the integrity.
Exactly. On the handouts,
yes.
You kindly allow me, sorry to cut you short, we go
Yes.
in for a break.
Okay,
when we
please.
come back, we pick it from there on
Thank
the
you.
pressing issues when it comes to youth and empowerment of our young people. You're still watching Youth of Purpose, and we're discussing the 8th National Youth Convention happening at Nigeria. And kindly keep tuned in to be able to know how actually can be able to take part, participate both physically and online. We'll be able to let you know how exactly you can do that. We'll be right back.
Youth of Purpose.
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Youth of Purpose.
Welcome back. You're still watching Youth of Purpose, and we are discussing the 8th National Youth Convention. As we went into the break, Ronald, you're trying to break down for us exactly the pressing issues that you've been able to find out in these conventions.
Thank you so much. So I was talking about how young people have lost integrity, in that even working becomes hard. And why? Because they are used of either handouts or even depending on their parents. I think it is something that we need to look at and work hard, so that then we shouldn't fall culprits of those that have made our country lag behind. We also, why we think that integrity is that pressing factor that needs agency, is the fact that even at workplace, you realize that very many young people can't work unless they have been, currently, you've seen what happens, the per diem. Someone will tell you, for me to attend a youth convention, I must receive a per diem or transport or something like that. We had a story previously when we invited one of the senior members that had attended the former youth convention that were hosted by the First Lady then in 1990s. Someone told us that they used to walk from Makerere University, Mary Stewart, up to, I think here, Selena then. And they would just come to listen, and then they would go back. And this one individual is telling us that sometimes they would even not receive lunch, but what was her intention? Her intention was to receive wisdom. And it is a very element that young people currently have lost. So I want to call upon young people, let us be intentional in looking for wisdom. And now this, still I think there is an element of integrity in this whole thing. So I believe that if we start prioritizing our country first, then we will not go further. Another pressing issue that I would want to talk about is unemployment. Currently, when I was looking at the statistics, they were showing us that out of 76, we have over 47 that are unemployed. And out of these conversions, one of the things that we front is creation of wealth creation, and then also ideas on how to start these businesses. I'm a person who believes in starting up than looking for for employment. And the previous one, I think that was the ethics. We had we had a panel of a panel who came and discussed about how young people can how they can start up, how to start up business. And out of that, we have seen very many young people come out and start these businesses, and currently they are really thriving. So I still believe that whereas unemployment is something that is very eating up these young people, but I still believe it is within us that we can fight unemployment in this country. So, but at the end of it all, we want to young people that have been attending these youth conventions, I believe that there is a slight difference concerning what has been discussed prior. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okalasa, from his deliberation, And from the engagements that you've been having with these young people, what do you think we can do to turn around the status quo in as far as empowering the young people?
Very interesting question. But let me start off by just saying this, Ivan, and for the viewers out there. Even when a lizard leaves Uganda for another country, let me say the United States of America, it cannot become a crocodile.
Mm-hmm.
What do I mean? Even as a Ugandan, a youth, there are two words. There's what we call employment and employability. Employment is where there's an opportunity for you to go and work. Employability, do you have all the qualities and necessities that gets you there? Now, why I say the first quote to answer your question, if I don't have the values like he has been discussing, to be able to come to you, Ivan, to give me a job, I am not employable. So that means even though I leave Uganda and I go to the United States as a lizard, I cannot become a crocodile. So the first thing we need to do, are we ready? And I believe we are getting ready, being that this is the conversion. Now, what do we need to do? I think Mr. Ivan and I propound that we need to give platforms to the youth, which we can call inclusivity in policy making. How much the platforms are here. Now, such conversions are very important that it puts for us a lot of information there on what we need to engage in. So it gives you a platform that, come on, there is this, have you tried out this angle? If you've been doing it alone, we are now working together. So for that, inclusivity is very important in key decision making. So therefore, the youth should be front in doing these things. And that is the importance of this, this conversion, that we want to, they're building a character that's able to be employable. So that even when you're in places of key decision making, it's important. But also, distribution of these resources. The conversions have come in, for example, earlier on we were having, dear viewers, an off discussion with Ivan, and I was telling him I'm from Tororo. Now, how much resources are reaching Tororo? So those are some of the things that we are doing as a conversion to ensure that we speak out our hearts. If the resources are not reaching here, we are coming as a youth, even during our platform, and they're saying, you know what, this is it. And we are ready. Mm-hmm. We are ready to what? To take on. Mm-hmm. So equal resource distribution, and I have to thank the president. He has tried. He has tried, and I will not differ from the American man who said, you see, ask not what your country has done for you, but the big question is that, what have you done for your country? So as an individual, it starts
so
with
in
me.
short, as you're complaining that resources are not getting to your village, to your district, what are you doing as a person in as far as holding, for example, your leaders accountable? Are you aware of how much, for example, is coming to your parish in terms of a budget? And actually, what are the plans of your parish or for your sub-county?
Yes.
What do they have in their financial budget?
Yes. So we must really be out there. We must be go-getters. Because if we keep on complaining, how have we come up? So for us during the conversion, we are coming up. We are coming up. We shall do our very best. And of course, we know that one day it will be there. So with all this information that is coming up for us, we are also coming on the table to ensure we know, just like you've just said, and to ensure that we also, on an individual basis, work on ourselves. No one wants to work with Ivan. Imagine today we have this program and I came at 5. It doesn't. So I think some of those things we also need to, much as we demand from the government, but it also starts with us to check ourselves. So it's a win-win situation that if we play our part, dear viewers, also the government plays its part. So equal resource distribution and also working on our own selves, all those things are very important. And also spreading awareness of the opportunities that are out there. It's very important. I might not know, but tell us. So all that can be used to make the issues that William has just talked about as a solution.
Thank you so much, Kalasa. We go in for another short break. When we come back, we want to be able to speak to Ruth and find out those specific challenges that the girl child is facing, and actually how conventions like these ones can help for us to be able to find a solution to those problems. You're still watching Youth of Purpose. We'll be right back.
Youth of Purpose.
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Youth of Purpose.
Welcome back, and we're still discussing the 8th National Youth Convention. In studio, I have Ronald, I have Okalasa, and I have Ruth. And as we went into the break, we were coming to you, Ruth. From all these engagements, what are those challenges that your fellow young women, young girls in primary schools, in secondary schools, at universities are facing?
Okay. Thank you so much, moderator, for that wonderful question. Some of the challenges that most young girls face in secondary schools, primary schools, university level, we have a challenge of sexual abuse, gender-based violences or gender biases. We have cultural norms. We have under cultural norms, we have, for example, early marriages. Girls face a challenge of early marriages. You find a girl is coming from a family where they believe once you start developing your body parts, maybe breasts, you're ready for marriage. So that is a challenge to the young ladies that they face mostly. Another challenge is unemployment or little pay at workplaces. You find a young girl maybe struggling to get school fees, and they're trying to do a side job so that they can get some finances to top up on what their parents are giving them. But you find it is so little to the extent that it's not enough for this girl to study. So we have unemployment, economic challenges, cultural biases, early marriages, some social or cultural activities that are really prohibited. For example, the genital mutilation. I thank God that it's now no longer in Uganda, it's prohibited. But those are the challenges that most young girls face. And how does the National Youth Convention deal with such challenges that face the young girls? So when we conduct this National Youth Convention, it's a form of creating awareness, bringing information closer to the young girls, informing them about their rights, telling them how to deal with. We have counselors on ground. We counsel them. We find a way to report the matters. We find a way ground. We counsel them. We find a way to report the matters. We find a way to make sure that they are safe and they can be able to attain a good education. On addressing the issue of unemployment, we thank so much the President of Uganda, who has introduced the presidential skilling program. Many of the young girls are getting opportunities to attain a skill. For example, hairdressing, tailoring, carpentry, construction. I'm so grateful that these days I pass by construction sites and I find girls there also in construction. And previously it was for men, engineers and all that. But I really thank God that because of this presidential skilling, the level of unemployment is reducing, and also the education, saying that girls cannot afford education. Our government system provides 1.5 points for girls to be able to join universities, and with the UPE schools and all other government schools, and with the government, government scholarship? With all those opportunities, girls who perform well are able to obtain an opportunity to study for free, and even those that cannot, who have not performed all that well, also have an opportunity to study at a subsidized cost. So we really thank God that even the government is working hand in hand to make sure that the girl child is safe, the girl child gets all the opportunities that that can help their lives or better them in each and every capacity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to let you know that we are streaming live on YouTube. Kindly go on to our social media platforms. That's on YouTube, U24 Television Uganda. And we're also on X at U24 Television UG. Be able to leave us your comment and we'll be able to read them out. As I come to you, Ronald, the issue of moral decadence amongst the young people is one thing that we need to pay great attention to as a nation. And that is to start actually from even primary school. You look at how young girls and young boys are carrying themselves, the kind of language that they do use. And when it comes to international schools, it's worse. I was interacting with one young girl, and she was sharing with me the kind of songs that she listens to. And she was picking a few lyrics from the song, and I was like, wow, I couldn't listen to even such a song, even when I was at university. And I was imagining, how does she get to even identify herself and relate to that kind of a song? But also when it comes to even the young people look at universities, the young people at campus, the kind of way and the kind of life that they are living, it's really unbecoming.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ivan. I think if about the moral decadence that is happening currently, I would want to take it back to where they come from. There is a saying that charity begins at home. So I think this is, we need to do what we call deliberate raising of these children, and this is upon the parents. So we still believe that however much we have the generational effect on it, but still it is incumbent on parents to inculcate good values and morals in these children. So how are we trying to attack this? For example, the National Youth Convention that is happening this year, the 8th National Youth Convention, it is going to happen at Mijera Secondary School, which is a high school, and this time we are focusing only high school students. We have invited over 25 high schools, secondary schools, and we realized that there is now a missing gap between the age of university and high school. You realize that even when you tell a high school student about what happens in university, they are all anxious. They either want to test or they want to know what really happened. So what are we trying to carry over there? We are that's one of the elements that we are trying to look at, and something that we want to also deliberately implement and the issue of moral decadence. So we are going to have various speakers that are going to talk about sexual purity. Okay. Sexual purity is one of the topics that we want to talk about in the 8th National Youth Convention, and we still believe that these speakers that we have invited are going to ably discuss this to its fullness, and we believe that a platform like this will give these young people an opportunity to ask some of these questions that are not answerable to them. And also looking at what I said in the preamble, the home setting of these students. currently you find that students are able to access any kind of information because of because of the democracy within those homes, the right. I'm a lawyer, but this person who is reserved about the right. I have a right to do this. I have a right to do this. Some of these things are things that we need to be deliberate on, especially the things concerning social media. I do not, I'm of a school of thought that a child should probably get a phone, probably in their vacation of Form 6, then they know what to do. They can make an informed decision.
Are you sure that can, because they can get it late and actually misuse it in that very time? So
yes, but you will have saved a certain time, a certain period. Currently, unlike enough, I don't go to bars, but currently I was watching on one of those social media platforms, and I saw that Form 2 kids currently they can go to bars, to the so-called clubs, and you all know what happens there. So if such a person can be exposed to such places at that particular age, what will happen if after growing, maybe joining these other classes? It means that it will be very normal for such, and that it promotes the issue of moral decadency, and some does not only stop on one, because if one student gets addicted to something like that, then he or she will pass it out to these other very many students. So I think we are already addressing it as the National Youth Convention, and we still believe that parents have a very pivotal role to play in making sure that these children are raised in a very good manner. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ronald. Okalasa,
yes.
He mentions the issue of social media, and I don't know if it's one of the topics that you've prepared to discuss at the convention, but I wish you could, on the proper utilization of social media. Social media would be a very good thing for us to transform our lives as young people. That's to do business, to be able to network, get proper exposure, because exposure is not good. The problem is, what are you getting exposed to? We are now using the internet for academic purposes, do research. Now with AI you can be able to do so much. But at the same time, social media is killing our generation. And you see on some of these, online platforms, really, obscene content happening. I've seen complaints where parents are saying, I was just scrolling and I found, sorry, I wouldn't want to even have this discussion, but a prostitute live on a platform doing their business right online. And like he said, there is a P7 chap whose parents have given him a phone and is just scrolling, and he lands on this live. And you just don't know what damage this is going to cause to this kind of young person. But also looking at the kind of language that we use, and it's too toxic. So I don't know if this is one of the discussions that you're going to have. And also, as Uganda Youth Forum, I don't know what endeavors are you making to make sure that we can be able to have proper utilization of social media, but also for it to be, monitored. I don't know if really people at UCC do watch that content and they are okay with it. What's your take?
Social media really is a topic that is so dear unto the hearts of very many young Ugandans, and I can assure you that that is consumed by 77%
Sure.
of the population in the country. Now, Speaking first of all from the lawyer's point of view, social media is very important. It's good, and you see, it's something we're not going to deal away with it, but it has come. So therefore, we have to speak towards its utilization. Recently, I was watching news, and that was in Western Uganda. One of the young people went ahead to begin mentioning specific individuals who he was claiming have HIV/AIDS on his social media. I don't know if there's anyone who was there and was mentioning this and this person has HIV/AIDS, and he was using social media. Now, that alone causes stigma. And from the legal point of view, that is breach of data privacy. And it stems back into the root of the Constitution of Uganda that speaks towards having privacy, a right to privacy.
Character assassination.
Character assassination, because you're giving unfiltered information, but also very private information. So that is a social media for you. And it has come, and we saw the impact of that. That young boy lost his job. And trust me, I'm not very sure how many people would have the grace to go and employ him. And that goes back, Ivan, to the discussion I was having earlier on with you, which we said employability.
Yeah.
Now we are looking at a scenario whereby a youth is employed, but because of a few missing items that are very important for the people who are employing, is losing the same opportunity that thousands of people would want. Now, how then are we going to deal with social media? I think for starters, we need to know what are some of the social media platforms that are being so abused. And I can assure you that they are possibly, I would think of two, which is LinkedIn or which is TikTok and Twitter. So if you go to these social media platforms, there's a lot of content that is unfiltered. And then you ask yourself, what is happening to our laws? But now, Ivan, this takes us to the implementation of some of these particular restrictions that we have towards social media platforms. I, for one, I think we are going to have this conversation during the convention, and we are asking a question: how much should the government really come and do? Because now we are asking for it. Come and do to help us save a generation. Because if at all these laws are so strict that you do this and this is what happens, then it can put us to a better really position, really. So the penalties towards the breach of this privacy, towards the misuse of all the social media platforms is important. But also, I wonder, Ivan, how many parents sit down with their children when they've just given them phones to tell them the do's and don'ts. It's also important. You see, little by little makes a bundle. Play that bit of it. But again, you might speak about social media only, Ivan, to speak about the thing causing moral decadency. You've used phonics. Is it called phonics? And before you know it, even without your consent, you see a notification popping up. You tap on the notification and you're really seeing weird content. Now, you didn't subscribe to that. So at times I want to believe that the people really actually brought social media, the inventors, the owners of Facebook have a deliberate way of using it to push their own agenda. Because at times you might not Google this thing. Then as you're scrolling into Facebook, you really see funny content. So that goes back to UCC. They really must go back to a point that these platforms are really sieved on the type of content that can be there. I can give you an example. I am an alumni of Ginger College. But back then, when you go to the computer labs, you could try going to read out certain content, provided it is not in line of your academics. You will not get it. And I still wonder, how about if parents develop that mechanism that you get that phone, restrict your child to very many things, and then thereabout you can give it to them.
But you see, you're talking about them even restricting the kids. Do they even know about the danger of this content? Because I can tell you there are parents that will actually even watch them, and they don't know their children are endangered. They are not aware.
Ivan, and I really want to agree with you, and that is why we are now fronting the youths to come into some of these things. Because train a leader today to solve a generation tomorrow. We are into a generation where some parents are very busy. I agree with me. He leaves at 6 and comes back by 7. So therefore, the time they spend with their children is very minimal. And that is why we are making an argument that through these national youth conventions, we can help ourselves. We can get down and sit and have these conversations on how best can we help ourselves. Because we are dying. But again, I feel if at all social media is being a problem, as an individual, now as a youth, why don't you delete it and do away with it? I would recommend certain social media platforms. For example, LinkedIn. I was recently discussing with my friends that I use LinkedIn, and like, no, that is for intellectuals. You get that kind of perception. But as an individual, if you feel something is disturbing you, before it gets late, do away with it. As government, bring strict laws that regulate it and penalties. As parents, let's go back to the old way of parenting. Talk to us. But I can assure everyone, parents are shy. To tell a child, you see what? You cannot watch a naked woman. They are shy. And these are the conversations really have at the National Youth Convention. Because now the parent will be like, hey man, my son is in the university, how am I going to tell him that do this? You see? So Ivan, I really think that is the type of discussion we are now having, and we are unfortunate that now it is us, the youths, that have to come and do it ourselves. But again, we thank the Lord because now we are the present people to do it in the better time right now.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Ruth, the question of values. Do we still care about values? But also, if I could ask a question, how many of us young people, or Ugandans, because not just young people, know about our values as a country? To let you know, guys, we have our 10 core values as a country. But how many, if I asked, do you know even 1 or 2, 3 of those values? And that is the question. If we have the values, how much have we sensitized our population? Or what is our agenda as a nation to say, as young people, to be able to contribute to your country's development? Do you know the agenda to say we want this kind of Uganda in the next 20 or 50 years? So in as far as building our own values and being able to know our purpose and, you know, living our lives carefully. And still, sorry, I would want to focus majorly on the girl child, on knowing what someone's value is.
Thank you so much for that question. Knowing our values. As Uganda, what are values? Where are they written? Are they known to our citizens? Yes, those values are there. But just like, you know, in our country here, we have very good laws, very good values, but they are all kept in the books. No one talks about them. Even those that are supposed to be teaching or to be sensitizing about them, they do the contrary. That is sad, because God is watching you. Because if me, I cannot punish you, neither a police officer cannot punish you. It's only God who can punish you. Yeah. So in everything that you do, know that you're serving God. You're accountable to God, not to any Ugandan, not to any human being. So if your value, for example, a country has a value of integrity, being honest, being corrupt-free, and if you're a government official, why would you take a bribe? And yet you know you have, our country has a value of integrity. I was shocked yesterday. I was at the Ministry of Lands trying to process some document for my client, and I knew this document can even be processed in 30 minutes. So someone who was helping me would take the receipt, ask me that, where is the facilitation? I mean, I've already paid URA tax. So you're asking me for facilitation, you a government worker. I'm sure they have told you about all the values and everything, all the ethics, how you have to be integral, you have to perform your work because you have a salary and all that. So I asked this person, I'm like, okay, how long does it take without any facilitation? I was like, oh, it can even take up to tomorrow. I said, okay, yes, I'm ready to pick it tomorrow. Since tomorrow is also another day when I can come here and still pick my document when it's ready.
Okay.
So I was so much excited to go back tomorrow and pick my document,
Yeah.
but without having to put a facilitation on someone who is supposed to do their work without any facilitation. So going back to the values, the country has values. Also, as individuals, human beings, we have our own values. As a girl child, you also have your values to keep your purity until marriage. You also have your values to be morally right. You have your values to pray. If you're a prayer person, you have your values to pray. You have your values to respect, how to conduct yourself in a good way, how to be a good citizen of Uganda, how to keep peace, how to do a lot of things. So they all go back to you as an individual person. So at the National Youth Convention, it's more of re-echoing these things into us, the young ladies, the young females, and all the nations, all the youth in the nation, because there's nothing new that we're really bringing on board apart from what has been existing, and re-echoing it back into the ears of the youth and trying to correct them and be like, do not break your values, be a good citizen of Uganda, develop your nation, work for the good of your nation. Do not work to destroy, but build. Because when Uganda is built, the praise goes back to Ugandans, and you're part of the country, it goes back to you as well. But once the country is destroyed, the shame goes back to you as a Ugandan. So as a youth, what are you doing? How are you protecting your values? Ensuring your integrity is okay. Ensuring that you respect is okay. How you conduct yourself, how you dress, how you talk, how you do your job, how you work, how you relate with your fellow workmates, your fellow students, your fellow churchmates. Anything speaks volumes about you as an individual person. So I would really encourage the females out there, do not waste your lives for money or for anything that you cannot get. It's a whole process to develop yourself financially. So it needs patience. You'll not wake up one day and you're driving, one day you have a house, one day no. There are those people who have that privilege. We really thank God for them. But if you do not have it, take your time, trust the process. You'll get there as long as you have your good values, you have your good morals, you're honest, you're truthful, you love the Lord. There is no way how the Lord will put you into shame.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I want you to keep, as we move from her submission on the values, I want you to keep with value number 1 on the 10 core values for Uganda, and that is respect for humanity and environment. And you cannot be able to respect humanity when you don't respect yourself first. So when you respect yourself, you have values that you do stand for, and that keeps you safe. And then you'll be able to respect other people, as we also respect the environment that supports us and keeps us here for generations after generations. Ronald, for a young person out there who is excited about the convention and would love to be part, what do they have to do in order to be part of this convention?
Thank you so much. I think from the start, these conventions are hybrid, but mainly it's a virtual National Youth Convention. So what they need to do is, we have already established a registration link for online participants. Mr. Ivan, I want to tell you that we have a record of over 61 beneficiaries of the National Youth Conventions. And I think out of 61, around 41 have been joining in virtually. So we want to invite all young people. We have numbers that we have put on that registration form for calling.
Where do they go to get that registration?
We have platforms for the National Youth Conventions. I'm going to read the number that if you're there and you wish to participate, you're going to call 07-521 46252 or 0789 17 1034, specifically for the virtual attendance. So
is there any, let's say, website or maybe
yes, we are
X
going to be
platforms?
living both Zoom, YouTube,
Okay.
Zoom and YouTube, and we'll be able to share that link.
Okay.
But I want to also affirm that those that will be able to attend physically are guests, and they will be able to. They are specific. They will come by invite.
Okay.
We'll be able to
Also,
send.
for the physical guests,
Yes.
it will be by
It
invite.
is by
but
invite.
everyone is free to be able to join for the virtual.
join for the vacuum.
Okay.
Yes, so that's how it is going to be. But for emphasis, it's going to be in Kasongola at Mijera Secondary School.
Okay.
So please, young people, please, you need to join. And we have very great speakers. I don't think they will live your life the same.
Okay.
So we also want to employ the young people. Let not only stop on this. This should be conversations ongoing. We shall have pre-conversion discussions on our social media platform at info UCLF and at UIF. Those are our media handles, so you can follow us. We have also established a website specifically for the National Youth Convention.
Okay.
It's www. National Youth Convention Uganda. So you're also able to find us. But we want to appreciate young people that have consistently been attending this youth convention. And I want to tell you, Mr. Ivan, if you meet someone that has been consistently attending these conventions, you would really see that there is really a difference.
Than they did with hatred. What do I mean? Joseph's brothers thought they were hating him when they threw him into the pit, or perhaps even kill him. But then they were not realizing that their action was making them to actually put Joseph at a platform. Now, my point is here, unlike Joseph, we are lucky that we don't need to go through much more danger to get the importance or the benefit that we are getting from people who have given in their lives to mentor us with love and affection. So I'm a Christian from Miracle Center, and I really, really speak to those values. So dear youths who are listening, and very many have been reaching out and inboxing, I think it's high time we work together and really see the change that we desire happen, and that is not going to be done by anyone else other than us, because today we are the youths out there, and Ivan, you know that a few years from now the 77% is going to be of older people, and I mean we are going to be the 77. So what kind of fathers and mothers are we going to be? So if we don't rectify that now, we are not going to do it. So the better time to do it is right now. So I encourage all of us to stream live on Zoom and YouTube, and to follow Uganda Youth Forum, Uganda Christian Life Fraternity, and your life will not remain the same. I am Okumu Albert Okalasa. God bless you.
Thank you. Ruth, your last remarks.
Okay, thank you so much, Ivan. It's been a pleasure being here. And my last remarks to the youth are that whatever you see has failed in this country, rebuild it. If you see anything going wrong, try to rectify, try to do the right of it. And if you cannot do it at the moment, expose it, write about it, expose it on all your social media platforms. It shall be heard, it shall be attended to. Do not keep quiet for any injustice that you are uncomfortable with, or something that you see is not going right in our country. And I would also love to encourage all the youth to be innovative, to appreciate the technology that has come up, to work together with the government to build a nation, to make sure that Uganda is a lovable country that is peaceful, that is growing economically. and also health-wise. The youth, it's us who are the future leaders. We are the future MPs, we are the future ministers, we are the future president. All these government or positions that you're admiring at the moment, you're the next person to be in that position in the future. So you need to keep yourself healthy enough so that you can be able to improve and build our nation. Thank you so much. I would love everyone to attend, either virtually or physically when you're invited. Please do your part to be part of this National Youth Convention. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Ruth. Thank you, Ronald. Thank you, Okalasa, for being a part of this afternoon's discussion. And certainly, you know the place to be. That's virtually, but the event is going to be in Nakasongola, Mijela, and it will be on 28th of this month. And therefore, make sure that you make it a date to be there, or actually be nowhere. But we shall keep giving you details in as far as this event is concerned. Just keep it U24, and we'll be giving you updates in what is happening, but also how we can be able to be a part of this convention. From me and my team, it's a good afternoon.
Youth of Purpose.